Good morning, students. How are you feeling today?
Good morning, sir. We're fine.
Wow, that's good to hear. So I am Sir Dave, your English teacher this morning. So before we start our discussion for today, kindly all stand and let's have a prayer. And Miss Chara, can you lead the prayer?
Here goes our Catholic. This is the sign of the cross. Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.
Okay, so before you take your seats, kindly pick up some pieces of paper or any garbages with you on the floor, and please arrange your chairs properly in a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so done. So before we start, so by the way, who is the secretary of this class?
Mr. Tubos, sir.
Mr. Tubos, do we have any absentees today? So since most of the class are present, so give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so kindly, this is our classroom rules. So kindly read the classroom rules, everyone.
Respect each other's opinion. Raise your hand before speaking. Stay on task during activities. Listen attentively to the teacher and classmates. Give the classroom clean and orderly.
Okay, so thank you. So please follow these rules. Okay. So last time we discussed the importance of distinguishing between facts and opinion. So who can share why this skill is important? Anyone? Miss Chara?
So it's important because it helps us avoid being misled and lets us make better decisions based on accurate information, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, can you recall some examples or facts and opinions we discussed in our previous lesson? Mr. Sanlao?
A fact we talked about was the earth revolves around the sun. An opinion was pizza is the best food.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much. How does knowing the difference between facts and opinions helps us better understand or analyze text? Mr. Tubos?
It helps us figure out if the information is reliable and decide whether it is based on evidence or just personal views.
Wonderful answers, everyone. So I'm glad to see that you remember these key points from our discussions. Now, let's move on to our first activity. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So our activity is entitled Fact or Opinion Relate. So for the directions, can you please read, everyone?
I will group you into groups and I will write several statements on the board. Take turns to get board. Pick a statement and decide if it's fact or an opinion. Circle your choice and explain why you think it's a fact or an opinion.
Okay, so thank you so much. So this will be the group 1, Mr. Tulod and Mr. Sanlao, and you will be the group 2. So for the group 1, your sentence, since I didn't bring the whiteboard marker, so I will just read the sentence, and you're going to identify if it's a fact or opinion, okay?
Yes, sir.
And you are going to explain it after. So for the group 1, this is your sentence. Listen carefully. Okay, so the sun is the closest star to the earth. Is it fact or opinion?
Fact, sir.
Why is it fact?
Because this is a scientifically proven statement based on evidence.
Yes, that's true. So how about the group 2? So this is your sentence. Dogs make the best pets.
Sir, it's an opinion.
Why?
This is based on personal preference and varies from person to person.
Yes, exactly. So that's good to hear, class, that you still remember our class discussions. So now let's move on to our next activity. So this activity is what we call literature detectives. So I know that you are all ready to gain new knowledge, but before we're going to our formal discussion, let's warm up first through this interactive activity. So we're going to play a quick activity, a quick game called Literature Detectives. So for the directions, please read.
I will give you a short clues
about the
pre-colonial Philippine
literature.
literature.
Guess what type of information these clues
reveal how the storyteller reader analyzes.
Or
Give the group for watching it and discuss their answers. Afterward, each
group will share their thoughts briefly.
So is the directions clear?
Yes, sir.
So in the same groups, your task is to write that one. So for group one, this will be your clues. So listen carefully. So this literature was passed down orally, often through stories, songs, or chants. Your discussion point is, what does this tells us about how pre-colonial Filipinos preserve their traditions? So am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So for group 2, this will be your task. It often contains lessons about nature, community values, or heroic deeds. So your discussion point is, why do you think these things were important during these times? So I will give you 2 minutes to answer this one. So are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so group 1, can you read your answers? Present your answers rather.
This shows that pre-colonial Filipinos relied on oral traditions to preserve their culture because they didn't have written systems at the time. Storytelling, chanting, and singing were their primary ways of passing down knowledge, history, and values from one generation to the next.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much. How about group 2?
So this reflects the importance of harmony with nature and emphasis on community and bravery in their society. This tips taught people how to live morally and responsibly, serving as guides for their daily lives.
Alright, great job everyone. So you've uncovered the key details about pre-colonial Philippine literature. Now let's learn specific strategies like skimming, scanning, and close reading to analyze these works more effectively, okay? But before anything else, so let's have this learning objective first. So everybody read.
At the end of the lesson, students can identify the different reading strategies, skimming, scanning, and close reading. Apply these strategies to analyze pre-colonial Philippine literature collaboratively and demonstrate appreciation of pre-colonial Philippine literature by explaining its cultural significance.
Okay, so thank you so much. So to achieve these class goals for today, let's start with another activity. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
That's good to hear. Okay, so this activity is what we call folk tales. Okay? So this time I will show you a short folk tale video about the legend of Maria Makiling. So before we watch the video, let me ask you first a question. So what do you know about the legends and why do you think they are important in understanding our culture and history? Anyone? Let's have Mr. Tubos.
So legends are all stories that explain things in nature that teach lessons about life. They are important because we show us what people in the past believed and valued.
Yes, that's right. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And now let's watch a short folktale video about the legend of Maria Makiling. So pay a close attention because I will ask you a question after this one, okay?
Makiling. According to legend, there was a time when the gods could live like ordinary mortals too. Although these gods were enchanted, they could speak, love, and even go to the market like what people do in our time. This story tells what happened to the daughter of two such deities. This is the story of Maria Makiling. Two deities, Dayang Makiling and God Panahon, had an only daughter named Maria. Because of her beauty and charm, she was the delight of her parents. The source of their joy and strength, Maria was to them a jewel, a treasure that made life full of light and laughter. At that time, people could talk with the deities face to face and even sit with them side by side underneath a tree. People could also ask for help when they were lost at that time. Maria had long black
Okay, since you already watched the video, so I will ask you a questions now. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first question. What is Maria Makiling's dwelling place? Yes, Mr. Sanlao?
It's in the Makiling place.
Yes, that's right. Now, what type of being is Maria Makiling described as? Yes, Miss Susanera?
Adiwata or fairy or nature spirit.
Yes, that's good. So, what is the main theme or central idea of the legend Maria Makiling? Alitza, Mr. Tiro.
The main theme revolves around the relationship between humans and nature, specifically the importance of respecting and protecting the environment.
Alright, that's right. So all of you got correct answers. So give yourselves a high five. Okay, so the legend of Maria Makiling provides a great examples of pre-colonial literatures. So now let's explore it using the different reading strategies. So let's have a next activity. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so our next activity is what we call exploring Maria Makiling, skimming, scanning, and close reading. So now you're going to work in groups to analyze the excerpts from the pre-colonial Philippine literature. So each group will focus on different reading strategy. So for better understanding, so please read the direction first, everyone.
Each group will receive an excerpt from a
Pre-colonial Philippine text. Please read the excerpt carefully and complete the task assigned to your group. After completing the task, present your work in front.
Okay, so is that direction clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will give you an excerpt now. So are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's have a group one. Please read your answer.
Main characters: Maria Makiling, a kind and generous princess. A greedy and selfish man.
Setting: a mountain village, specifically the mountain Makiling.
Plot
Plot points:
Maria Makiling helps the villagers. A greedy man exploits the mountain by cutting down trees and hunting animals. Maria Makiling punishes the man by transforming him into a tree.
Yes, thank you. That's correct. So group two, please read, Ms. Kusanyera.
So for us, sir, scanning the character traits: kind, generous, protective of the villagers and the mountain, powerful, able to transform the man, just punishes through the way. So for the actions, so it provides food, shelters, and protection to the villagers, transform the greedy man into a tree as punishment for his exploitation of the mountain.
Yes, that's correct. So how about group three? Okay, so let's have two goals. Mr. Two goals.
The theme is the importance of respecting nature, the consequences of greed and exploitation, the interconnectedness of humans and environment, and the power of nature to punish those who are in it. The symbolism: Maria Makiling represents the power and protective spirit of nature. She is the guardian of the mountain and its inhabitant. The greedy man represents human greed and the destructive impact of exploiting natural resources. The transformation into a tree symbolizes nature's ability or take what is taken and punished, using disrespected, also represent a form of karmic justice. And the last one is the mountain. They represent the natural growth, resilience, and enduring power.
Yes, that's correct. So in our recent activity, all of you got correct answers. So give yourselves a barangay clap. Okay, since all of you got correct answers, so now let's discuss them. So there are three types of reading strategies. We have scanning, skimming, and close reading. So scanning, it is a reading strategy that one uses when he or she reads a text quickly to find specific information like names or numbers. And skimming, it is used when one reads the text quickly to get a general idea of meaning. And lastly, close reading is a reading strategy that used to identify specific facts and details which leads to the interpretation of significance of the meaning of the text. So now let's have a comparison chart. So skimming, for the purpose of skimming, skimming is a fast reading strategy method, and it is meant to give you an idea of what the full text is about. While scanning is a fast reading method, and it means to help you find out specific information in a text. And lastly, close reading is meant to uncover the layers of meaning in a text. Now for their techniques, we have skimming includes reading the introduction, the headlines, or the first phrase of the paragraph. So you'll skim a text at first sight and decide on whether to read it in full. And for scanning, scanning means looking over the whole text quickly in search of specific information, while close reading is a disciplined rereading of worthy text. It requires also a careful gathering and analysis of data which must explain why details are significant. Now for their usage, skimming is, you can use skimming to decide whether they will read the text in full. While scanning, you can use this method when you know what specific information you are looking for. And for close reading, you can be used to bring out the deeper meaning of the text. So its growth or interpretation is usually meant to be shared whether orally or in writing. So am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's great. So now are you ready for our next activity?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so our next activity is what we call concept map adventure. Now for the direction, please read.
Individuals complete this 4-section concept map by listing different reading strategies,
Their techniques, process, and specific usage examples.
Okay, so I will give you you're going to answer this one, okay? Alright, so I'll give you 5 minutes to answer that one. So, are you done?
Yes, sir.
So, you want to share your works, please. Present your work in front, Mr. Dulod.
So, what's up with skimming? Once upon a time, there was a silver monkey and a slow but wise turtle. They were friends, but one day, the monkey tricked the turtle into giving him all his mangoes. Student 2.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Dulod. That was a great answer. So now let's proceed to our next activity. This is an exciting activity. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so in this activity you are going to apply what you have learned. So, since you already mastered the different strategies, so let's apply them creatively to this fun activity. So you work by group, still in the same group a while ago that we had. So I will will give you 5 minutes to prepare. So for the direction, please read for better understanding.
Each group will create a short presentation or performance based on their assigned excerpt. You can choose to act out a scenario, create a visual presentation, or write a summary with a creative voice.
Okay, so I will give you your excerpts now. Okay. Here. Alright, so for group 1, so your task is scheming. Who is group 1? Again, let's have Mr. Tulod and Sanlao. Your task is to scheme the folktale, the monkey and the turtle, okay? And for group 2, let's have Miss Costanera. Scanning, you're going to find the details in the riddles that I provided. So the group 3 is Mr. Tulod, and your task is close reading. And you're going to, you have a proverb and its meaning. So group 1, are you ready to present your work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please proceed.
Once upon a time, there was a clever monkey and a slow but wise turtle. They were friends, but one day, the monkey tricked the turtle into giving him all his mangoes.
These mangoes are mine now, turtle. You're too slow to eat them anyway.
Monkey, you may have taken a mangoes, but you will soon learn that greed doesn't pay.
The turtle only used his cleverness to outsmart the monkey. He tricked the monkey into carrying a heavy load of stones and stayed with the mango.
This story teaches us to be wise and not let others take advantage of us. Scheming helps us identify the main characters, plot, and theme business.
Yes, thank you so much, group 1. So now let's have group 2, Miss Costanera.
So I have many eyes but cannot see. I have a long neck but cannot speak. I stand tall but have no legs. I give shade but have no arms. What am I? I know. It's a tree. Yes, it's a tree. Because it's a coconut palm tree. The many eyes are its coconuts. The long neck is its trunks, and it provides shade to those beneath it. And scanning helps us focus on specific details in the text to solve the riddle.
Wow, thank you so much to Miss Costanera. You have a great performance. Now let's have group 3, Mr. Tubos.
So my assigned task is close reading. It has a two character, which is the parents and the child. So the first one is the parents.
You must remember your roots, child. Ang hindi marunong lulingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroonan.
But why is it important, Mama?
Because these proverbs teach us the value of our origins. Close reading helps us analyze its deeper meaning. It reminds us to appreciate our past to guide our future. And like Maria Maki's story, these proverbs show how respect for our roots and nature shapes our path in life.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Tubos. That was a great performance also. So each group of you demonstrated a clear understanding of scheming, scanning, and close reading. So you not only analyze your text, but also delivered your presentations creatively and effectively. So give yourselves a round of applause. Alright, so now this time, let's assess your understanding through the activity. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So, this is an assessment, okay? So it is only a multiple choice, 10 items. So, for the direction, please read. You're going to read each question carefully and encircle your best answer, okay? So I will give you a paper and you are going to answer it here, okay? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's check. Please exchange your paper and let's check it. Okay, so for number 1, we have what is the example of pre-colonial literature? The answer is, what do you think?
Novel, I know, proper.
Yes, Proverbs. Number 1 is letter B. Number 2 is letter B. Number 3 is letter B. 4 is letter B. Number 5 is letter B. Number 6 is letter B. Number 7 is letter A. Number 8 is letter A. And number 9 is letter A. And number 10 is letter A. So who got correct answers?
Yes.
Wow, that's good to hear in class. So you really showed that you understand our lesson for today. So now, for your assignment, I want you to choose a pre-colonial Philippine literary text and write a short essay analyzing it using the most appropriate reading strategy. So you are going to explain your choice of strategy and how it helped you understand the text. So am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for your assignment, we're going to pass it in our next meeting, okay?
Yes, sir.
So that will be our discussion for today, class. So thank you so much, and I hope you've learned a lot. And thank you so much for your cooperation. Goodbye, class.
Bye, sir.